Brendan from Powston. I'm going to walk you through one of the most transparent parts of the Powston platform, which is our rates page. So the rates page is showing you by default yesterday's data. We're able to see everyone's energy bill. You can run a whole bunch of different filters across it. So in this case, I filtered it down to just Queensland and 25 kilowatt inverters that I'm interested in. And I'm going to show you a little bit of interesting data from the last sort of 3 months. So the site ID numbers that you see here, these always stay the same. So every time you look at the site page, you should be able to see ID numbers that are always consistent. And underneath each site, you can actually see exactly how big the system is that site is running. So the top site here is a site number 53 with 24 kilowatts of panels, 25 kilowatts of inverter, 81 kilowatt hours of battery. And the third highest performing site there has 0 kilowatts of solar panels. That's right, absolutely no solar panels. 25 kilowatts of inverter and 8 kilowatt hours of battery. They're both on the Energex network. They both paid exactly the same daily costs in terms of their grid connection fees, their metering fees to their network operator, which in this case is Energex in Queensland. And over a 3-month period, these two different sites performed differently. So the site number 40 without any panels achieved an $812 credit, while our site number 53 with the solar panels achieved an $1,133 credit. They achieved very similar buy prices for their energy. So our site with the solar panels bought energy on average at 7 cents per kilowatt hour, and they bought 3,700 kilowatt hours of energy. That's maybe some cloudy days in there where they didn't have enough solar energy to fill the battery completely. Perhaps it's some days where there's negative buy prices, so they're actually being paid to take energy off the grid and fill their battery that way. And site number 40 bought 6,400 kilowatt hours of energy, and they managed to buy that at an average of nearly 8 cents, 7.8 cents per kilowatt hour in this case. And if you compare their sell rates, so this is their feed-in tariff to the grid, their price that they're being paid to export energy back to the grid, we can see site 53 achieved 43 per kilowatt hour versus site 5.5 cents per kilowatt hour. We can see they moved a pretty similar amount of energy back to the grid, 3,100 kilowatt hours versus 3,300 kilowatt hours. And you can see the impact this made on their energy bills. So, we're talking a couple $100 difference here between no solar and solar included. Now that is quite remarkable that you can achieve that level of performance without any solar panels at all. If we widen the field up to include, say, all inverters in Queensland, we can see that the volume of credits that each site received generally correlates to the volume of battery they have and the inverter size that they have. So larger inverters with bigger batteries do perform better. So, when we drop our battery size from 80 kilowatt hours, say, down to 40 kilowatt hours, so we're halving that battery, our credits drop from $1,100 down to, say, $600. And if we drop even further down to, say, a 10 kilowatt inverter and a 19 kilowatt hour battery, our credits drop down to, say, $200 over the 3-month period. But you can see that, some sites, even with their smaller systems, so say we pick on this 15 kilowatt inverter here, we see it still managed to achieve fairly similar buy prices. So it's buying energy at 9.6 cents per kilowatt hour. It's selling energy at 48.8 cents per kilowatt hour. Sure, it's not selling as much, so it's not making as much, but it's still getting a negative energy bill. It's still getting paid by the grid instead of paying the grid to interact with it. And if you drop down to even the smallest of sites, so say we pick on one of these sites here that has, say, a 9 kilowatt inverter and a 13 kilowatt hour battery, we can see their energy bill for the whole 3-month period was $1. They bought energy at 20 cents per kilowatt hour. So, when we're seeing standard retail prices at about 40 cents, so that they're at a 50% discount. And, a standard retailer is offering, say, 2 to 4 cents per kilowatt hour of energy exported, and these guys are achieving 19 cents per kilowatt hour on average. So even with a small battery system, you are able to achieve better than retail pricing and get your energy bill down to virtually nothing over a 3-month period. Thanks for watching.